Okay, let's take you to one of our leading stories this hour. And of course, this is in the east of Johannesburg, where ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has just officially opened the party's Lekgotla in Boksburg. Let's listening to what is happening there at this point, because we understand there is a media briefing to bring us up to speed with some of the developments. Let's take you there live.
In connecting the president's overview with the ANC's elections analysis report and the ANC's interpretation of the political moment and the balance of forces. The idea, therefore, is to say to the attendees that the ANC can no longer afford to theorize what to do. The people of South Africa have told us what to do. The ANC manifesto was a product of that consultation. The GNU statement of intent elaborates on the broad policy framework that the government must pursue. What must now happen, which is what will be happening today, is for the ANC to discuss concrete action plans on what to do as soon as Wednesday in government. And the president focused on three principal areas that the ANC Lekgotla must focus on. The president says, correctly, the people of South Africa have said if the national economy is not functioning for them, they will not be invested in participatory democracy. That's one. And therefore the task of the ANC and its deployees in government is to pay serious attention on improving the performance of the national economy. And the president says the problems of the economy are as follows. We have a problem of low growth, of inequality, both in class terms and in racial terms, of underdevelopment overall, including the decline of our existing metropolitan cities such as Johannesburg, eThekwini, East London, Nelson Mandela Bay, the Western Cape. And this reflects the fact that because of South Africa's spatial economic profile, the historic economic centers are now under siege, under pressure, and they are unable to provide for everybody who migrates to them. Therefore, we need an industrial plan that can help improve South Africa's productive capacity and give substance to the economic possibilities of other regions of the country. The president also makes the point that the ANC has got to take seriously the implications of weak governance systems and structures, both at the level of service delivery and economic governance. And he says, therefore, that this Lekgotla must think seriously. What is it about our approach to governance and policy formulation and implementation that has not been working? Because it doesn't matter how much grand ideas you have, if you cannot translate them into a system of government actions, you will not be able to do anything. And the third point that the president raises is that in relation to economic governance and political governance, the ANC is going to pay special attention to the problems in local government, especially the metros. We are going to proceed in the next month with an analysis of the underperformance of the local government sphere and find a way for the ANC to respond by stabilizing local government, including the possibility of changing leadership on that front. But that the Secretary General will provide an update to the public in due course once the coalition's task team has considered the matter and decided on a course of action. The third point is, South Africa's democracy relies on the effectiveness of political organizations as organizing units in communities. And that therefore a renewed ANC must be led in a manner that reflects that the ANC is a governing organization, and that the functionality of its structures in communities must serve that purpose as well. A renewed and functional ANC will be tested on its capacity to act as an agent of the people as they pursue improvement of governance in their wards, and that the ANC will come out in the next month to outline a renewal program of recalibrating its structures in a manner that mirrors the vision of improving the governance at the level of government. So what will be happening today is that the Lekgotla will receive a series of presentations, including from the Minister of Finance, the Minister in the Presidency responsible for monitoring evaluation, and a presentation on the burning platforms. Those are issues such as crime, electricity, water, so that when we exit here on Wednesday, there is a clear idea of what are the burning platforms that the ANC ought to respond to. Tomorrow, on Monday, we will commence with commission discussions, which will be focused specifically on a concrete plan of what to do about the burning platforms, how to internalize the political overview of the president, and the presentation that is currently being delivered by the Secretary General on understanding the elections results and what the people are saying. That will be done on Monday and Tuesday, will be commissioned, and then that program of action will be concretized and presented on Tuesday for adoption. And then after that, the ANC deployees in government will proceed to action out what the ANC has said in government. During the course of today and tomorrow, we will continue with our series of media briefings, especially on the banning platforms. What is the ANC's discussion around the crime and policing problem? What is the ANC's update on the water problem? What is the ANC's update on the electricity and freight logistics improvement strategy? Of course, we all know load shedding doesn't exist in South Africa currently, but we have a problem of load reduction as a function of declining distribution infrastructure, especially at the level of local government. So although we've improved the performance of our generation fleet overall nationally, major metropolitan centers are unable to provide reliable electricity because their distribution infrastructure is under severe pressure, which reflects, of course, a crisis of a lack of maintenance over years. And the president did say that one of the issues that government must pay attention to now is not just to increase infrastructure rollout, but to also have a plan on sustaining infrastructure maintenance. And that includes the possibility of provincial and national government to intervene at that level and to assist local government. And this is because, as far as our constitution is concerned, the function of electricity distribution is a function of the local government sphere. But of course, national government can't throw its hands up in the air and say, no, that is not our direct mandate, it's a mandate of local government when local government is failing to perform on that front. So these are the pending platforms that we will be responding on. And then out of that, the ANC is going to respond to the elections results and the voice of the people of South Africa by improving its performance. Now, I must emphasize the point. The ANC president says the most decisive driver of the electoral loss of the ANC is a failing national economy. That the ANC's lack of governance on the economic front is the biggest threat to the stability of democracy and the credibility of the ANC. That is where we will end it for now. We will take questions about the Lekgotla, friends, not other things.
On the national dialogue, when is it? The time frames?
Okay, so the national dialogue is idealized for this year, but the ANC is not going to dictate to South African stakeholders when it should be. It will be a product of the discussion between the President of the Republic as head of state to consult with multiple stakeholders and agree on an approach to the national dialogue. The ANC will be one of the participants in the national dialogue. It will not arbitrarily say this is when it will happen and how it will happen. But the President will, in due course, announce what that will look like.
And then the political, I think, resolution office between the GNU partners, has that been set up already, or it's just WhatsApp groups?
The political clearinghouse.
Yeah, something, I think you mentioned the other day where certain some
Yes. Yeah, so we had agreed with the GNU partners that we should have that conversation immediately after the establishment of government. So now that we've set up parliamentary structures and the next round, the negotiators will go back to the negotiation table to agree on what that looks like. But the principles of it are on clause 19 of the statement of intent, what it should look like and what should it aim to resolve. And of course, there is the need that it must not act to usurp the powers of cabinet, whatever it is. It must just be to clear out contentious issues and agree on an approach on how to best deal with policy areas where there might be some consternation. Shannon,
Yes.
Today we are not giving a political input, we're asking questions.
No, today I'm asking another question about economics.
Okay.
You say the Lekgotla will deal with the economics and so on, right?
Yes.
You know, before the Guptas, before state capture,
Yes.
there was agenda capitalists. Now, even when you talk about the economy, are you dealing with the agenda capitalist or township economy? Thank you.
As I said, Shannon, what the president recognizes is that the South African economy is dysfunctional in class terms. That is, the distribution of income between the working and middle classes and the highest top earners is unsustainable in South Africa. So it's about restructuring the economy to work for all South Africans, not for the upper echelons. That's essentially what the president said. That is what the ANC manifesto said. So the township economy, the industrialization of historically excluded regions of South Africa, like where I come from, in the former Transkei, where there's virtually no industrial activity. That is what we're focusing on. That is what our industrial strategy is based on. That is what our manifesto said we should focus on. So township economy, rural development, not just on the basis of agriculture alone, but also on industrial possibilities. That's the approach we're taking. Okay, friends, I think we agree. The Coalitions Task Team is headed by the Secretary General. The coordinator of the Coalitions Task Team is Comrade Makura, and one of the members of the Coalitions Task Team is the person you're staring at. Thank you very much. Are we good? Thank you very much, friends. No, it's not the last one, but I don't want to say what time. I'm going to try to bring the Secretary General. But I didn't want to do them back to back. You see, I'm here, then the SG comes. I need to give it some time so that you file, so that you guys can file for now. Then maybe around lunch I can bring the SG. We do a bit of yeah, but we play it by ear. Yeah, no, you're proper. You're not going anywhere. I know.
There you have it. That's, of course, the interim national spokesperson for the ANC, Zuko Godlimpi, there, fielding some questions on the Lekgotla that is currently taking place now in Boksburg.